You know what happens every time Islam gains a foothold in a non-Muslim nation? History shows that those nations are eventually destroyed. Not occasionally, every time. The free societies of the Middle East and North Africa are gone now, exterminated, and now those lands are all Islamic. Islam divides the world into two categories. Countries that are fully under Islamic domination are called Dar al-Salam, the House of Peace. Every nation that is not yet dominated by Islam is labeled Dar al-Harb, the House of War. And that country stays the House of War until Islam succeeds in crushing it into an Islamic slave state. The United States of America has been declared by Islam to be a war zone, and the USA will remain an Islamic war zone until the United States government has been torn down and replaced with Islam. The Quran calls for all Muslims to, quote, slay the infidel wherever you find him, and to strike terror into their hearts. Islamic leaders openly call for the faithful all over the world to take knives and go out and stab non-Muslims, to run them down with cars, rape the women, on and on and on. Well, here in the USA, we have a special weapon with which we can stop the Islamo monster in its tracks. Listen to this. This is United States Criminal Code, Title 18, Section 2385, advocating overthrow of government. Whoever knowingly advocates or teaches the duty, necessity, or propriety of overthrowing or destroying the government of the USA by force or violence shall be imprisoned not more than 20 years. That is Islam. But wait, there's more. Whoever organizes or attempts to organize any group or assembly of persons who teach, advocate, or encourage the overthrow of the government, or who becomes a member or affiliates with any such group or assembly of persons shall be imprisoned not more than 20 years. That is the mosque. Under United States law, Islam is a felony. The Islamic mosque has never been just a place of worship. The mosque has always been a military outpost of Islam for the purpose of recruiting, training, and sending out of jihad killers to strike the infidel. Oh, but Bill, not all Muslims are like that. No, they're not. Fortunately, most Muslims are not obeying the commands to kill. But not all Nazis ran the death camps either. Most people who belonged to Hitler's Nazi party were well-dressed socialites and everyday people who had nothing to do with the atrocities. And still, 60 million people died because of the Nazi ideology. Islam is already shedding blood all over Europe. Now, when they finish with the Europeans, they're coming for the Americans. So if the United States is to survive this onslaught, we need to stop them now. Under the United States Criminal Code, it is a felony to belong to the religion that is calling for the violent overthrow of the U.S. government. The language of the law is clear. Our critics will say that what we're calling for is Islamophobic. Well, guess what? It's not Islamophobic when they really are coming to kill you. Why have our representatives failed us on this issue? You mean like they always do? Well, one thing we know for certain is that we cannot trust the federal government to lift a finger to defend against this threat. The only way the USA will survive this threat is for the American people to create a thunderstorm that our so-called representatives cannot ignore. This needs to start at the state level. We need Americans who have been victims of Islamic violence. We need state legislators, law enforcement officers, and anybody who has a really big friends list on social media. They say that the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Well, it's time to start squeaking. And this message must go far and wide. And the enemies of freedom will do everything in their power to silence us. Randy McDaniels of Act for America is partnering with me on this, and we will bring this message to your church or your patriotic group. Meanwhile, please consider supporting this effort by clicking the PayPal link in the description below and providing some of the funding that we need to take this national. This is Wild Bill for America. Thank you for watching, and America bless God again.